Good morning, all of you. Now, today we will start a new chapter in English grammar, chapter number 11, Simple, Compound, and Complex Sentences. Earlier, whenever we begin any grammar class from the beginning, then the first thing that we ask is, normally the teachers ask us, what is a phrase, what is a sentence, how many types of sentences are there. You remember all that? Okay, first tell me what is a sentence. Let me know what is a sentence. Come on, class 8B. Definition of sentence. Group of words that is incomplete. Complete it.
A group of words which make complete sense is called a sentence.
Alright, so a group of words which makes a complete sense is called a sentence. How many types of sentences are there?
Ma'am, three types.
I'm not talking about this chapter. Otherwise, that you normally do. How many types? Not on their structure. Otherwise, how many types of sentences are there? First is declarative, or what you call as assertive, or what you can also call as statements. What is the second type? In right. Third,
Ma'am, exclamatory.
and one more, imperative. Right.
Imperative.
Okay, so declarative sentences or statements or assertive sentences, they are normally statements when you state a fact or you simply state a thing. Interrogative, where a question is asked. Imperative consists of three. It consists of an order, request, or a advice. And exclamatory, where you talk about a sudden feeling or a sudden emotion, a sudden or strong feeling. Okay, but in this chapter we will talk about the different types of sentences based on their structure, the way they are made. All right, and so based and also based upon the clauses that they contain, means based upon their structure and the clauses which they contain. What is a clause, by the way? Does anyone know what is a clause? First tell me what is a phrase. PHRASE, what is a phrase?
Ma'am, a phrase is a part of sentences or a group of words which conveys some meaning of the sentence, not full.
Okay, so phrase is a group of words which makes a sense but not a complete sense. So it is making some sense, like in the morning, during the night. So during the night or in the morning something happened, but what you don't know. So it is making some sense but not a complete sense. That is a phrase. Sentence, you already told me that a group of words which makes a complete sense is called a sentence. Now tell me, what is a clause? Have you studied about clauses earlier? Class 7th, you did clause? I think yes, you did.
Ma'am, a clause is a part of a sentence that contains a verb and gives full meaning.
Okay, part of a sentence, that is okay. So a clause is also a part of a sentence. Second, it has a verb. Third, it has a subject and predicate of its own. You know what is a subject and a predicate? Hurry up.
Ma'am, subject is
Huh.
ma'am, subject is on what topic we are talking, and the predicate is ma'am what we are talking about the subject.
Alright, so subject is the topic of the sentence, what we are talking about, and whatever we say about the subject is the predicate. So clause is a part of a sentence, contains a subject and predicate of its own, and it also has a verb in it. Now clauses are also of different types. Alright, now one is the principal or the main clause. Now principal or the main clause is that clause which can stand on its own as a complete sentence and which does not require the rest of the sentence to make its sense complete. Why? Because it is a part of a sentence. That means some part of it will still remain. But the main clause or the principal clause is that part of a sentence which can stand on its own as a complete sentence and it does not require to the rest of the sentence to make its sense complete. Whereas a subordinate or a dependent clause is that which requires the rest of the sentence to make its sense complete. Then we have coordinating clauses also. Now basic coordinating clauses are those clauses which contains a subject and predicate, but they start with a coordinating conjunction. Now what is a coordinating conjunctions? We have 7 coordinating conjunctions, that is for, and, but, nor, or, yet and so. So those are called as coordinating conjunctions. Where they are used, I'll tell you while we are doing it. So based upon the clauses that the sentence contain, sentences are generally divided into 3: simple, compound and complex. Now let's have a look at them. First is the simple sentence. Now read the sentences. Dark clouds are gathering, the chicken crossed the road. Now these sentence, they give one complete thought. They are not, it is not talking about many things or 2-3 things. It is talking about just one thing, that dark clouds are gathering, talking about the dark clouds with a gathering, and it contains one finite verb. Now if you remember, while we were doing non-finite verbs, we did the difference between finite and non-finite verbs. Now finite verbs, they contain a subject. Like here, dark clouds are gathering. What is the subject? Dark clouds. What is happening to them? They are gathering. Okay, now finite verbs, they contain a subject and they agree with the subject. The finite verbs also change according to the tense and number. Tense, you know, the time when the particular action has been done, like it could be past, present or future, and also according to the number. What is number? In noun, what is number? Any idea?
Singular and plural.
Right, singular and plural. Okay, so the finite verb, it will change according to the number and also according to the tense of a sentence. So simple sentences are those, and the non-finite verbs we have already done, the infinitive, the participle and the gerunds. We have already done that. So what are simple sentences? Which convey one thought and contain one finite verb. Okay, so a sentence which has a subject and only one finite verb, it is called a simple sentence. And a simple sentence can also be said to be the main clause or an independent clause or a principal clause, means it is in itself a complete sentence. Now compound sentences, the second type. Look at the sentences which they have given as examples. He turned left and she turned right. Now if you see these parts, you can get well soon or your condition can get worse. Now if you leave the bold part and see the rest of the 2 parts, he turned left. Now this in itself is a complete sentence. It does not require and she turned right to make its sense complete. If even if we write he turned left, the meaning is complete. And the other part, she turned right. Now that also has a complete meaning of its own. You can get well soon. Now this also has its own meaning and it is complete in itself, as well as your condition can get worse. That also can stand alone as a sentence and it does not require the first part of the sentence to make its sense complete. So a sentence which is formed by joining 2 or more independent, principal or main clauses and are joined together by a coordinating conjunction, they are called as compound sentences. So if you break them, they can be broken up into 2 independent or 2 main clauses. Alright, so simple sentence, a simple thought and one finite verb, and it is also the principal clause. But for compound sentences, we can have 2 or more principal or main clauses and they are joined together or connected together by a coordinating clause or a coordinating conjunction, like which I told you all, which are 7 in number: for, and, but, nor, or, yet and so. Okay, then we come to the third type of sentences, which is called as the complex sentences. Now a sentence which has one main clause and at least one subordinate clause. Subordinate or the dependent clause, I told you, that part of a sentence which requires the rest of the sentence to make its sense complete. Now there are two types of clauses, principal or the main clause and the dependent or the subordinate clause. Compound sentence is formed by two main clauses or two principal clauses, whereas a complex sentence is formed by one main clause and at least one subordinate clause. It can have more than one subordinate clause also. So complex sentence contains one principal or the main clause and one or more subordinate clauses, and that is called as a complex sentence. Now there's a note giving here, and see what is written here, that if you have to identify what type of sentence it is, so count the number of finite verbs in the sentence. If there is just one finite verb, then it is a simple sentence. Then if the sentence comprises of one main and one independent clause, why one independent clause? That independent clause can also stand on its own as a complete or proper sentence. Now that is called as a compound sentence, and these clauses are joined by a coordinating conjunction. Whereas if the sentence it comprises of one single main clause and one or more subordinate clause, then that is said to be a complex sentence. Okay, now we have just one exercise here. Let's do it and finish off the chapter. Identify these sentences as simple, compound or complex. The first one, have you all understood? Any confusion? Anyone? Okay, let's continue. What goes up comes down. Compound. Where? Right, complex. We don't have a coordinating conjunction. It is complex. Go to the shop and buy some fruit. Right, compound. Good. First is complex, second is compound. What you see is what you get. Compound. Complex. Complex. See and get. See, both change according to number and tense. See becomes saw, get becomes got. So, not one finite verb, more than one finite verb. So, it is complex. Have you seen or heard from Harry or Hurry recently? Compound. It could be have you seen Hurry recently or have you heard from Hurry recently. So, it is a compound sentence. The big brown dog ran after the blue and red ball. Simple, right. On reaching the shop, don't forget to buy some fruit. Look at the verbs, whether both are finite or one is non-finite. Reaching is finite verb or non-finite? Buy is for sure finite. What about reaching? It is non-finite. So, we don't have to be concerned on reaching the shop, leave it. Alright, on reaching the shop means what you have to do? Don't forget to buy some fruit. We have basically here one finite verb, that when you reach the shop, what you have to do? You have to buy some fruit. So, this also is a simple sentence. It is neither complex nor compound, it is simple. Before the Queen rode in the parade, she gave a speech. Right, complex. James and Tina rode their bicycles after they ate lunch. Simple. Complex. Rode, ate. You, not I, have to be at the station at 5 in the morning. You, not I, have to be at the station at 5 in the morning. Have to be at the station. Just one verb, one finite verb. Simple. Right, simple. We have to go to bed when the clock chimes 10 o'clock.
Ma'am, complex.
Complex, right. The teacher and the principal met in the hall near the library.
Ma'am, compound.
Simple.
Simple. The teacher and the principal. The teacher and the principal, that is the subject. The teacher and the principal. Where they met? Met in the hall near the library. One finite verb. Simple. The pearl disappeared into the ocean depth, never to be seen again.
Ma'am, simple.
Simple. Next. Many brave soldiers fought in the war and they received medals.
Ma'am, compound.
Compound, right. When the sky is cloudy, I like to sit outside.
Ma'am, complex.
Complex, right. She dropped the pan and the plate, but she held on to the spoon.
Compound.
Compound, right. Compound, right. They dug at the spot where it was marked X.
Ma'am, complex.
Complex. After midnight, some people say the ghosts come out of the haunted attic.
Ma'am, complex.
Complex. I always felt that we would meet again, but didn't think that it would happen so soon. Yes,
Compound.
compound, but coordinating conjunction is used. 19th, there at the bottom of the trunk lay the old album. The pictures faded and crumbling. Yet, none of us had even thought of searching for it in that obvious place.
Ma'am, complex.
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 Complex. Compound, yet the use of a coordinating conjunction to add none of us had even thought of searching it in that obvious place. See the first part, there at the bottom of the trunk lay the old album, the pictures faded and crumbling. That is a complete sentence. None of us had even thought of searching for it in the obvious place. Even this makes a complete sentence. Both are together joined by a coordinating conjunction, yet, so it is a compound sentence. And the last one, blessed are the poor, for they don't ask much.
Ma'am, compound.
Compound, right. Okay. So that's it. With this, we complete your English grammar course. Any confusion? Has anyone missed any sentence? No? 18th.
12th one.
18th is compound. 12th is simple.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So all of you have completed?
Ma'am, is it?
हाँ बेटा
11th.
11th.
Ma'am, 11th.
Okay, wait, I'll let you know. 11th is simple.
Thank you, ma'am.
8th. 8th is complex.
Ma'am, 6th.
6th is simple.
Ma'am, 10th. Thank you, ma'am.
10th is complex.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So that would be all for today. God bless you all.